Hello and welcome back to the Zone Focus channel. I know, before you even say it, I'm wearing a hat in the house. And I know it's one of those situations where it's like your mama slap you upside your head if you wore that hat inside the house. And I know that. I know it. But as of right now, I'm growing my hair out and I'm in the stage where it's too short to do anything with, but it's too long to look good. So I'm wearing a hat because it's necessary. Anyway, thank you for stopping by to the channel today. We're going to be talking about a little continuation from the last video, which I was talking about some tips to do during this quarantine time that's happening right now with the virus outbreak of the COVID-19 coronavirus. Anyway, today I wanted to talk to you guys about some books that I have that I've been looking at that kind of keep me company, keep me give me something to look at that's positive. So let's start with book number one. The first book that I'm going to talk about, which is also the newest book, is called As the Call, So the Echo, which is a book by Yoshiyuki Okayama. This book is a book about, of course, Yoshiyuki Okayama. He's a Japanese photographer. And he took a trip with a friend of his up to the mountains in somewhere in Japan. And anyway, this book is kind of documenting his trip with his friend and his experience with his friend's family. And this is, I think it's his second book. He has another book called Bacon Ice Cream. And the two books are very different. This book is a lot more documentary styled, and the last book was more so about him. And not really about him as far as photos of him, but him as far as, things that were centered around him. And this book is just a little different, and it focuses on the lives of others. And I like the photography in here, and it's really nice. I haven't got the chance to look through it much, but just from the few times I have been able to look at it, I'm really enjoying it. So book number one, Yoshiyuki Okayama, As the Call, So the Echo. Okay, everyone, book number two. Book number two is another Japanese photographer, and this photographer is a well-known photographer, street photographer, if you want to say that. And his name is Dido Moriyama. If you don't know who Dido Moriyama is, you're missing out. He's a famous photographer, especially here in Japan, as far as documenting the Shinjuku area of Tokyo. So this is actually a reprint of Daido Moriyama's first book. The things that I love the most about this book is just the black and white. He shoots in mostly black and white. But the thing about it is, it's just the grain is so large in the photos. It almost looks like you can touch, like the photos have some type of texture to them. He's known, of course, for, like I said, documenting Shinjuku, which is kind of the red light district of Tokyo. So there's a lot of that in here. There is nudity in this book, so if you have sensitive eyes, this might not be the one for you. It's not a lot, but it is in there. And it's just unique. I really enjoyed this book. It's small, and I guess this was only printed in Japan because there's no English in this book. But the images are gorgeous. So check this one out, Daido Moriyama. I would tell you the name, but I can't read all of the kanji on it. Check it out. Book number three. Book number three, we're going to step outside of Japan for a little bit, even though this was printed in Japan. This one is called Once Upon a Time, and it is a Ed van der Elskin. Ed van der Elskin is a photographer. I think he's from, I want to say, somewhere near Germany, if not in Germany. But this book is a compilation of his work, of his different, Dutch. But it's a compilation of his work over time. He has passed away at this point. But he was basically a photographer that kind of moved around, starting in Europe, and then ended up traveling the world, documented some countries in Africa and a couple countries in Asia. Notably, his work in Japan. He ended up falling in love in Japan with Japan and came back to document Japan fairly often. And so there's a lot of work from different countries, various countries. And it's all black and white. And again, they're just very, very beautiful images. I think at one point he was going to be a Magnum photographer, but ended up turning it down because he didn't like the rigidness of having to do assignments. Anyway, but this book is probably the largest book that I have, and it's got some of the most beautiful images also. So, Once Upon a Time, Ed Vander Elskin. If you haven't seen him, make sure you go check him out. It's really nice. Book number 4. Book number 4, we're bringing it back to Japan. And in this book is called Tokyo Nobody. Tokyo Nobody by Matsutake Nakano. And I think this book is perfect for this situation that's happening right now, where so many people are indoors and not able to go outside and kind of in a personal self-quarantine type vibe right now in their lives. So Tokyo Nobody is a book that was shot, I think, on 8x10. All of these images were shot on 8x10 over the span of about 10 years. From, I think, like the early 90s, about 1990, 1989, up to 99 or 2000. And the book is full of these full-page spreads of images that are just, I mean, you can kind of, it looks like you can just walk through the images. They're so vast and so deep as far as like the layers and the way things are set up. And like I said, the most interesting thing about it is Tokyo is the most populated city in the world, and this photographer caught landscape images of the city with no people and no cars. And it's just a really eerie type of book, because you think about how many people are there and there's no people in any of these images. So it's almost like a dystopia type of vibe to it. But the images are beautiful and they're definitely worth checking out. I got this book secondhand for $7, so it might be cheaper on the internet. They still sell it brand new as well. But if you get the chance to check it out, Tokyo Nobody by Matsutake Nakano. Book number 5, last but not least. This book is the only book on the list that is not film photography, but it's worth mentioning because of the work that's inside. So this book is called Platform 10 by Remy Narula. Narula. I know I got an accent, so I know I'm probably not saying it in the right accent. Sorry, Remy. So Remy is a friend of mine that's a photographer in Thailand, locally, I mean, in the Bangkok area. And this book called Platform 10 was taken at the train station in Bangkok. I mean, this book is just full of beautiful images. The way he plays with light and shadow and layers is really special. He talks about that he had shot thousands of images at this one platform at a certain time of day over this extended period of time, because the light would shine down onto this single platform in a certain way. And he was able to create these images. And I mean, they're just beautiful images. The lines, the colors, like I said, the layers that he uses, the people for framing. It's just really nice work. With that being said, Platform 10, I think it's still available as of making this video in 2020. Hit him up on Instagram and ask him if you can get a copy of it. It's well worth getting. Platform 10, my homie Randy. With that being said, thank you all for watching this video. Make sure you take this time to do whatever you can to make the best out of this situation that's happening right now, and don't let this time slip away. If you enjoyed the content, subscribe to the channel, like the video, and leave a comment down below. What's your favorite photography book? And because I'd like to find some new books to look at myself. Oh, follow me on Instagram. A lot of things happen over on Instagram that doesn't happen on the channel. It kind of takes a long time to put these videos together, so they come out slowly. But if you want to see the in-between time, Instagram is where you can see it at. And also you can catch some of my work. Thank you for watching. I love y'all. Peace. Stay safe out there.